Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Tessier of WrestleZone.com. I'm joined by Kratos of the National Wrestling Alliance, among many other places. Kratos, how are you doing today?
What's up, my man? How you doing, brother?
Good. Appreciate you for taking the time. We were talking before we logged on the call. You've got a busy month ahead here, but before we get into all that stuff, I do want to talk about the past a little bit, more the recent past to be specific. You're recently at NWA show in Mexico. The show at the World is a Vampire Festival with AAA. You challenged for
Yeah,
the trio's titles. What was that experience like, wrestling in a music festival?
yeah, man. It was really, really cool. For many reasons. One, the opportunity to wrestle, just in front of thousands of people, man, and to be a part of AAA too. That was always kind of a goal of mine, and be in that atmosphere and being under that umbrella. But it was just really, really cool for me, man, to see, my boss, Billy is like kind of in his element, man, and perform and just see how passionate he is about that. And then, it just kind of falls into wrestling, how passionate he is about that. And it just fell into place for me as far as like my vision of him. Like my respect level just went up. We had a blast. Talent had a blast. The talent of AAA was awesome. Just the whole experience, man, it was dope. I can't wait to see what comes of it. And, from what I hear, man, it's going to be really really cool. So it was dope, man.
You talk you
my
talk about
interest
you talk about
my
seeing
interest.
Sorry, you talk about seeing Billy Corgan in his element, and obviously Billy with
Yeah,
the Smashing Pumpkins there at the music festival. What's it like working for Billy? I've heard a lot of other NWA talent kind of speak highly of maybe some of the creative freedom you guys have over there, and some of that tends to be the kind of thing I tend to hear. I've had the opportunity to speak to a couple of NWA wrestlers, and that seems to be kind of a recurring theme. Would you tend to agree, or what would you say is maybe your favorite part of working with Billy Corgan?
oh, 100%. I think if I had to just narrow it down of the many reasons, is just that he's very easy to talk to and very understanding, and he's very open, man. And he's just a no bullshit kind of guy, man. And that's kind of what I like. If he likes the idea and he sees that you're passionate about it, and he sees a meaning or a future in your creativeness, then he's gonna let you roll with it, man. He trusts his talent, and that's really cool. Of course we have our bullet points, but how we get there and what we do with it is he gives us a lot of leeway, and it's really cool. And if he doesn't like it, he will definitely let you know. So, but it's respectable, man. It's a really cool relationship that I have personally, and then again, all the boys in the back, even the girls, like everybody just loves working for him. One, because he's real and he's extremely passionate, man. So it oozes off him, and it gives us an excitement to perform and do what we do best. So I mean, it's just a kick-ass place to work for, man.
You're someone who's worked for a lot of places, NWA, New Japan Strong, and a number of other places as well. And you mentioned how working under, at least under the AAA umbrella, was something that you were really kind of chasing for a bit. What about that stood out to you? Like obviously, AAA it's a very prestigious company, but maybe what about them specifically kind of drew you to them wanting to get there eventually, and then what did it mean to be able to finally do that?
I would say as a talent, just the history of that place and who's been there. And, I worked a lot of lucha shows with Pro Wrestling Revolution. So I've gotten the experience to wrestle some high caliber luchas, and just hearing what they have to say about it. One, just being in Mexico City. Two, man, it's, just the history of it. And I guess who's passed through there and who's there now. And, you know, the ability to grow in that company and do some major things and do it in front of live, loud, huge crowds, man. It's really cool. And if I would just have to just say it, it would just the guys that have been there, man, the talent that's been there and the history in that company. It's a place that was definitely a goal of mine to be there. So I'm looking forward to the future, man.
Right. Quite fittingly, you're talking about history and a place that has a lot of prestige and a lot of value, and then the three letters in AAA. That's also very true of the NWA. Obviously, so much history, so much prestige there. Company goes back decades upon decades. So many legends have worked there. What does it mean to you to be a part of it? Do you no? But AAA is one thing. You went there for the show with NWA, but you've been part of NWA for a while now. So what does it mean to you to be frequently working for this company, to be a part of the roster, again, that has been the home of so many legends over the years.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, to be a household name there and to be a top guy is a goal. And one reason is because, I mean, look at the lineage, man, the history. The guys have held the titles there, and you know what they've done in this business, what they've created for this business. The NWA is one of the most historical banners I think that's in wrestling today, man. You know, besides obviously the WWE, but all those guys created their legacy. To me, not there. You know, the NWA is where a lot of guys got noticed. They put wrestling on the map, and it's as we say all the time, it's as wrestling should be. You know, it's stories, man. It's characters. It's getting that live, raw emotion from the crowd, and you know, being able to talk and interact with the crowd and do your promos in front of them. Like, it's just working for NWA. For me as a talent, I have learned extremely so much in the business, man. And you know, I don't think it's said enough. So every opportunity I get, I always like to just give a shout out to the boys in the back, man, the guys that are, you know, been there, done that, and continuing to do that, and just give their knowledge to guys like myself and guys that are hungry for that knowledge. And NWA is definitely a place of that. You know, it's besides the drama that they may have in between each other on TV, man, and in the back, it's everyone wants to see that business and that those three letters grow into something that it was. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great place to work. One, for learning, and two, because of the wrestling and where we're going, man. It's I'm really glad I'm a part of it, man, and I'm looking forward to it.
You talk about learning a lot through your time with NWA. What are some of the lessons that we sent out to you, maybe above the others? Like, what do you kind of really can think of that you take with you going forward?
Oh man, we could do a whole podcast on that. Mainly, I would say just slowing down and really the details in between your moves. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily the move that you do, it's how it's being told, how it's being illustrated to the crowd, how they're conveying it, what you're doing to make it seem real. The little details in between everything, man, it means so much. And I was so lost to that concept. You know, I was like, man, I'm 300 pounds. I want to do a hurricanrana. I want to jump off the top rope. I want to, you know, and all that stupid shit. And it was just, when I got there, I was told, you know, that is completely not what you're going to do. And this is why, and try it. And once I started putting those concepts into my matches and understanding what I was doing with telling stories, I realized that you can have the crowd in the palm of your hand and just really enjoy the art of this game. And that's man, there's so much I can go into it, man, but it's just, I would say that just breaking down the actual cadence of a match. And that was huge for me to understand, because like I said, I liked that I was able to do cool things at my size. And it was like, yeah, you can, but just not right now. You know what I mean? So kudos to the guys that pretty much saved years on my career. You know?
Talk about the general lessons. Are there any people that come to mind specifically that have helped you like learn those things, or is it more of a general kind of learning process?
Absolutely. You know, Tyrus is one. Aaron is one. Was Damian Sandow in WWE. Masters is another one. Billy, another one. I don't want to leave anybody out, but like Tom Latimer too is, I think, one of the greatest hands in professional wrestling. Like, the dude is awesome. Just guys like that, man. Man. It's Trevor Murdoch, another one. Like, those guys are just, they know how to, everything they do means something, and everything looks so vicious and real, you know. And it's if I could take myself out of it and just watch them, it's like that's what I like about it. And I just, you know, so that's why I sit next to them and get their knowledge and get their because those guys have been there, done that, and they're continuing to do it, and their future's nowhere near stopping. So, it's just a great locker room to learn from and to strive to be one of the top guys in, because you're around top guys. You know what I'm saying? So,
Speaking of the NWA locker room, you were just naming several people as well. You got Tyrus, Trevor Murdoch, Eric Stevens, a number of people, and you've been with the company for a little while now. We can talk about your more general goals in a minute, but you've had the opportunity to work with plenty of people. Are there anybody in the NWA that you haven't had the opportunity to face yet that's kind of on your proverbial list, or anybody that you're looking forward to facing potentially at some point?
Tyrus.
There you go.
He's got what I want, man. So yeah, that's the goal for me.
Hypothetically, at least, what would winning the NWA World Title, or even at least challenging for the NWA World Title, because you've been a tag team champ with NWA, potentially if you get to that level, when you get to that level, what would maybe challenging for the world title in a match potentially against Tyrus mean to you?
Man, it would be it. I mean, that's the reason why my goal was to be with Top Promotions, is to be a household name in Top Promotions. So to be a top guy and to have earned it, it would mean a lot to me, and it would be everything, man. Like, it would be a cherry on top to all the hard work, and to just being given that opportunity to know that they believe in me, that they see the potential. You know what I mean? They see a guy that can represent the company and do well by it, and put on great matches and take this company to where it's never been. So I'm looking forward to it, because when it happens, it'll be a good time, man.
Definitely sounds like you're chasing the world title, but you've also mentioned helping the NWA grow, helping the brand of the three letters grow. Maybe a bit of a two-part question. What are your goals, maybe beyond the world title, beyond becoming a top guy and getting to that level? And also, like, how do you think you could help the NWA grow, / how do you think the company could grow in a more general sense moving forward?
As a talent, I think being seen on a bigger level and being a top guy and being noticed and helping the company grow in that way, I think that can happen. I think not so much just me, but the programs that we can do, I think will draw. I think would make the company really, 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 really grow. And having the opportunity, obviously Billy is doing that too, of just putting us in a more how do you say, like just in more eyes, you know what I mean? Not just wrestling fans, now we're bringing in his fans. You got music festival people there were so many people that were coming up to us after that just honestly had no idea. And they were just like, holy shit, this is amazing. And to be able to do that, to me, is cool. Like, that's kind of like how I want to wrestle, you know what I mean? There's always going to be that mom that brought the kid that doesn't want to be there. But if I can make her believe and be like, damn, like, this was actually pretty cool, then I feel like you're touching a broader spectrum, you know what I mean? You're bringing in more people that way. And I think the company will grow that way. I mean, that's what I feel. And then on top of that, it's just being who you are, just being a general good person, man. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to represent the company professionally and do everything they ask you to do, and just doing what needs to be done, man.
You mentioned the example of the mom and the kid, and I can't help but laugh, because I took my fiance to a wrestling show, and we went to it was a random episode of SmackDown 2 years ago, and she had no idea what was going on. And then sometime passed, a pandemic happened, and we went to our first show back was New Japan in Philadelphia 2 years ago. And I remember seeing you there. I believe you had a match with Juice Robinson. Don't quote me on that, but I definitely remember seeing you there. And it's funny because I'm speaking to you now, but I remember seeing you more on the New Japan side before, we really saw you come up from the NWA, and we were talking before on the air about you're gonna have a match. The Impact New Japan show, the Multiverse United. So we're talking about AAA. We're talking about talking about NWA as well. What is it like working with New Japan mostly on their American side of things?
Man, it's another thing, because as I was coming up and as I was getting introduced to the business as far as being a talent. That's all I really studied, man. Of course, I did the old school wrestlers, but we studied a lot of Japanese wrestling, man. And I was just like, I knew about it, but honestly, I didn't know about it. You know what I mean? I was like, holy man, these are legit some of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, and it's approached as a sport out there. It's real, and that instantly, man, just took me, because when I turned pro, that was a goal. Like, I need to go to New Japan. I need to be in that ring, and I need to be around the best wrestlers in the world. And wrestling for them, again, is like very similar to the guys in the back there. It's earned there. You know, the knowledge and the relationships are earned, but it is so, you gain so much knowledge being around guys like that, man, and you learn so much, and you get your ass whooped too, but you know, it's definitely a learning experience every time, man, you know, because you're wrestling guys, like I said, that are best in the world. For me, one of the hugest things I always go to a lot for me was when I wrestled Kojima during COVID, and it was no crowd, and just working him, man, it was like, one, it was just dope to be and share the ring with him, but two, just a learning experience of how physical something can be, and convey like a real story for TV. It was quite the learning experience, man, and I wish to this day that we had a crowd for that, but hopefully that'll come soon.
Speaking of matches you're hoping for, we talked about NWA earlier. New Japan obviously has a very, very star-studded roster as well, both in general and on the American side as well. So, are any potential matchups that come to mind there? People that you may maybe have an opportunity to face you, but are kind of on your you're hoping to face at some point?
Yeah, I have I have a little bucket list there too. I would love Tanahashi, Suzuki. Pretty much, I mean, Okada, yes. Jay White was one of them. I just really liked the way he worked, his details, the way he worked, man, the way he told stories was awesome. But Tanahashi and Suzuki is definitely on my list.
Speaking of Suzuki, he's someone that's I've seen compete at Bloodsport, and you're going to be at Bloodsport later this month on March 30th. You're going to be facing Davey Boy Smith Jr., definitely a big name in the wrestling world. What are your thoughts on? I mean, you're no stranger to Bloodsport, so how does that kind of differ to you versus other wrestling? I mean, it's much more physical and intense and more like combat based. But like as a someone that's literally in there, like what's some of the differences in your approach to it?
Oh man, it's real. It's very real, and knowing Davey Boy Smith personally, he's just a beast, man. He's a no nonsense wrestler, man. You know what I'm saying? He'll rip your arm and leg and take it home, you know. So I'm looking forward to that match. He's one of the guys that I've been wanting to work for a long time, and especially in that style, because that's something that we both take very, very passionate. You know, we're both, you know, no nonsense wrestlers. We both study the art of, you know, catch wrestling, you know, jiu-jitsu. I know he stays away from that, but he does more catch and all that. And just us both having a passion to be on the mat and do what we do. I'm excited, man, because we're both, you know, just big, no nonsense guys, you know. So he's definitely been a guy I used to tell, you know, Barnett all the time, like, man, let me get Davey Boy, just let me get him, man. I would really want that match, and I'm looking forward to it.
Is there anything you're looking to do differently with this time at Bloodsport versus your previous times, or how are you taking your previous experience and kind of coming and do it this time, having had a couple of matches previously in that style?
I took I'm training really, really hard, man. Just getting to the best condition of that I've ever been. I was getting a little big there, so I just took the time to, you know, just diet down, get conditioned, just get in the best shape, because, you know, I know when I'm in there with Davey Boy, it's not going to be easy, man. It's going to be a very fast paced, you know, mat, you know, hold for hold, and it's going to be a lot of strength, you know, because we're both, again, big guys, and we're both very, very strong. So to come conditioned and come with a full tank of gas and make it last is something that I'm working very, very hard to have, because everything else, I mean, I'm very, very confident in all the other skills. It's just trying to come in the best condition I could be come that day. So
that day will be on part of WrestleMania weekend, and we're talking about the Impact Multiverse United show, as well as
yeah,
now the Bloodsport. Both of those can be part of WrestleMania weekend. I imagine as a talent, I mean, there's inherently kind of a little level of excitement there. I mean, obviously WWE, but they're doing the WrestleMania thing, but everyone else is doing WrestleMania weekend, a whole string of shows from a
yeah,
number of companies. And like I said, you're going to be at Impact and New Japan with their team up show for Multiverse United and Bloodsport as well. So, like I said, I imagine there's just the general excitement from a talent perspective about WrestleMania weekend and being a part of that at two pretty high profile.
yeah, yeah. And then absolutely again too, you know, you're wrestling again for a top promotion. You know what I mean? We're doing things with Impact, and to be working with them is really cool, man. You know, guys like, you know, Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, like all those, I know them all. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to work with them and compete and do things together, and companies coming together, it's good for, it's awesome for the fans, and it's awesome for us, because it's opportunities to work for the boys that's earned it and the women, and we just, it's just a good time right now, man. You know, everyone's really trying to just make things happen, and it's a great time to be a talent. That's why I always, you know, when I get the opportunities to tell guys and do things, you know, just keep grinding, keep working hard, you know, because there's a lot of opportunities out there. And I think things like, you know, when companies come together and they see big companies come together, it's huge, man. Again, it'll open doors. So I'm excited about that. WrestleMania weekend is going to be really cool. Working with Impact, New Japan, doing Bloodsport. Like, there's a lot of cool things coming, man, and I'm just excited that I'm a part of it. So.
Speaking of opportunity, fans can have the opportunity to see New Japan. New NWA host the NWA 312 pay-per-view on April 6th. Hopefully, we're going to see
Yep.
you in action there. That's me in Chicago. NWA announced part of the proceeds going to go to the Highland Park Foundation. So it's definitely a very special show. Even outside of the in-ring action, they're going to be doing that as well. We talked about maybe some of your goals with the NWA earlier, but looking ahead to that show, any fun memories of wrestling in Chicago, or just again any kind of general? Maybe I don't know if you're going to leave all the way to the world title in time for that, but is there anything you're kind of looking to do for that show and NWA 312 on April 6th?
You're gonna have to tune in, man. But yeah, it's all the road to Tyrus, man. That's the goal. So, well, you're gonna have to watch, bro.
That we will. Kratos, lastly here, do you want to plug where people can find on social media and whatnot?
Yeah, just at JR_Kratos, all platforms. Support, man. Just find me, just support, man, and support wrestling. Support the indie guys as well. You know what I mean? Everyone has to start somewhere. So that's one of the things I like to always do out there too, is just support them, show them love, show wrestling love, and support your favorite wrestler, man. That's it.
Thank you so much for your time today. I wish you the very best moving forward.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, brother.